Good morning. I'm Dottie Moses speaking today on behalf of Last Stand. Last Stand would like to thank DEO for giving the public an opportunity to contribute to this very important issue of hurricane evacuation safety. We appreciate your careful consideration in this matter. Last Stand's mission is similar to yours in that we try our best to preserve the Florida Keys' unique quality of life and protect our fragile, beautiful natural environment. To that end, we support slow, manageable growth. So it is important to consider what has transpired since the calculations of the 2012 evacuation model were done and how it has contributed to the accelerated growth of the Keys. We have learned that the 2012 model was missing data that misinformed the outcome. The 3,550 building allocations, it turns out, would require 26.5 hours to evacuate and not 24, as was thought to be the case. Had the missing data been included, the building allocation numbers would have been less in order to maintain the 24-hour evacuation. We saw the legislature create 1,350 ROGOs that were never part of the original 2012 evacuation model, increasing development by 38%. We have seen the increase of vacation rentals, which have eaten up our housing stock and occupied our once vacant houses during hurricane season. All of this has led to an increase in traffic. In addition, our roads are flooding more frequently and for longer periods of time. Our water pipe has exceeded its capacity, our wastewater plants experience spills from rainfall and king tides, and our coral reef is struggling to survive. In spite of all this, we have been experiencing a robust tourist economy, so much so that the Tourist Development Council has collected unprecedented tourist tax dollars. They have a $25 million excess in TDC funds this past year. It seems our growth is not so balanced. Our infrastructure does not seem to be keeping pace with our development or our tourist economy. As you've heard, our water pipe has reached capacity and the water pressure has been diminished. The estimated cost to replace that pipe could be as much as $1 billion and take decades to replace. Sea level rise is causing sunny day flooding throughout the county, which hampers the use of our county roads, sometimes for as long as a month. The cost of raising roads and installing storm drains in just unincorporated Monroe County is estimated to cost $1.6 billion. The county has identified other infrastructure projects that need attention, including replacing aging bridges at $68 million and replacing aging Trauma Star helicopters at $53 million. Even our fairly new wastewater system now has problems. Recently reported due to rainfall and king tides, we are now experiencing spills of untreated wastewater into our nearshore waters. Our other wastewater plants have been found to have inadequate injection wells that are polluting nearshore waters and has yet to settle on a resolution to the problem. Hurricane evacuation could be hampered by some of these infrastructure issues. Will there be a variable to include infrastructure shortcomings in the modeling? As others have testified, traffic along US 1 has become the bane of our once laid-back islands. It is consistently one of the top 3 complaints with residents in community surveys. The US 1 arterial travel time and delay study for 2023 has not yet been made available. The last one had so many failing segments, it was thrown out in favor of a prior year study. This shows how big the problem really is. The study is required to learn if US 1 meets its level of concurrency for more development. It seems the study should be part of the modeling. It may well inform the model of the time it may take to evacuate increasing population of the Keys. You mentioned that there does exist regional evacuation model of a multi-county evacuation since the Monroe County model doesn't take that into account. Traffic in Miami-Dade can be quite daunting on any given day, and a multi-county evacuation could be impossible. One can't help but notice how the farms in South Dade are all being converted into residential development. It is no longer easy to just run up to the mainland because the traffic can add an hour or more to your travel. Unlike the mainland, we only have our one road to evacuate on. Will you run different scenarios to compare the different outcomes? What if there is a last-minute evacuation order for a rapidly developing Category 5 hurricane? What does the model say if everyone had to evacuate all at once in case there was no time for a phased evacuation? Last Stand agrees with you that the Navy residents should not be excluded from the 24-hour evacuation calculation, neither should mobile homes. While it is prudent to ask them to leave early, they are still permanent residents and should be counted as permanent residents as is statutorily required. And what about the college dorms? How are they to be counted? Where do they fall in the evacuation calculation? Are they not permanent residents while they are attending college? So if more homes are considered vacation rentals and they're moved to phase 1 evacuation, and this 2-phase system has already been deemed faulty by the courts, This just provides more opportunity for more development. And I've just listed multiple examples of how none of our infrastructure can keep up. This seems like a terrible path to open up. And finally, will you share the data inputs you are using along with all the variables that you are modeling so the public can see how this system is working? And thank you for the opportunity to share our concerns. And as you know, the outcome of this process will determine the future safety and quality of life for the residents of Monroe County, as well as the future of our state and nationally recognized natural environment. Please don't let politics or financial gain preempt safety. I also wanted to mention something that was said earlier, the comments made about evacuating just the lower keys or the upper keys. I hope you're referring to small category 1s or 2s, because as is reported on the county website about the outcome of Irma, Hurricane Irma left a path of destruction from Ocean Reef to North Key Largo. Almost all the homes and businesses in the Keys lost power, water, sewer, cell service, and internet service, which is one of the reasons we were told we should be evacuating, because we can't live in that environment, and they have to get it up and working before we can come back in. And I also want to say that it sounds like some comments made that we're trying to move everything into a 48-hour evacuation model, and we're moving more and more residents into the first phase. And I'm wondering how, if that's really a wise decision to do. So thank you.